So last week, this is how the games ended up going with Pickem and everything. I made some ground back up, which is really, really nice, but I made up some ground. I'm in third place right now. I mean, I'm still, like, towards the bottom of the rankings, but still early enough to where last week was a little bad when it came to the pickings, but this week it wasn't nearly as bad. The one I am pretty upset about is the Indianapolis one. I should have known better than that. And other than that, I mean, I'm just more of shocked, I guess, by the Raiders game. That one hurt to lose. I mean, that was bad. Ravens, that one. I mean, I end up, like, pick 'em wise, I ended up having they lose because of the number situation, but I can't believe they blew that game. Vikings, that one kind of hurt a little bit too, but I mean, yeah, Cleveland blowing it. That one didn't hurt as bad for Pickem because I was in like middle tier. Overall, though, I thought it did pretty well. I mean, I definitely had a better week than I did last week. I just number situations. If I could flip a few numbers, that definitely would have been nice. Like if I could go hindsight, obviously now. I mean, I probably would have flipped. Honestly, I don't know. I think I would have probably left the numbers the same. I would have lowered the Colts 11 by a bit. I'm just trying to like think of where. I mean, I don't know. But that means going into the season now, I'm still in 7th, but I'm basically now, instead of being like way back as I was, I'm only 33 out of first place, and then I'm only 14 behind second. So I'm back in the running again after a really nice week. So hopefully I can just keep it rolling. But yeah, like I already looked ahead a little bit, and this week I think it's gonna be a really, really tough week. There's a lot of interesting matchups that are gonna be hard. So we'll just go. I'll basically hop in. Like this one already starting off tough. I mean, basically Pittsburgh looked awful, but I mean the way Cleveland blew that game last week. I mean, we're gonna come. Man, I'm gonna have to come back to that one already. I'm gonna pick Houston here. I don't like the way Chicago's been. I mean, they looked really impressive against the 49ers, but that was in a rain-soaked environment. And then when they played the Packers, they always do lose the Packers. They looked somewhat impressive, but I mean, still, I know the Texans aren't anything either much. I know the Texans aren't much either. They tied with the Colts, and then they almost beat the Broncos, but they lost still. So that's probably gonna be a low number in a hopeful game. I mean, I won't lie. I think I'm just gonna go with the home. I don't know if I can go with the home team here. I think I have to. I mean, I'm comparing this to basically. I'm thinking of this as Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Amari Cooper versus like the Steelers receiving core and like Najee Harris. And I just think I like that. I mean, I'm not going to put very many points on the game to begin with, but I think I just like Cleveland a little bit better, even though. But that's just going to be rough. Vegas, Tennessee. I got to take Vegas after they basically blew the game last week, but the Titans after the way they played Monday, and then just Titans need to show me more. I have to pick the Chiefs here, but that's going to be like a middle number 2 because that just feels like a weird game. The Colts just do these weird things where they play down to their opponents sometimes, or they play up to them. So like. For some weird reason, they could lose to the Jags, but they'll beat the Chiefs. But I don't think it will happen probably. But just in case, I might put a little number there. Buffalo, Miami. Buffalo just beats every team down. I have to take them. But this is gonna be a fun game to watch to see if Miami can keep it close. Ooh, Minnesota, Detroit. I think this is just gonna be. I'm gonna put a low number on this, but I think I'm gonna try to steal one here. I feel like a lot of my family. We'll try to go on Minnesota, but just the way Minnesota played last game, I mean, because the best thing too is the Lions just played the Eagles, and the Lions kept it. I mean, I know they were beaten bad to begin with, but they were able to charge back a little bit, make it a 3-point game. And the Vikings, I mean, Kirk Cousins just looked awful, and yes, it was primetime Kirk, but I mean that probably is a bounce back spot for the Vikings. I'm just gonna put a low number in Detroit because Detroit might be legit, so this will be a fun game to see if they are. Baltimore, New England, I mean that's pretty easy. I feel like Baltimore had a bad loss last week. They should be able to bounce back. Cincinnati against the Jets. I'm going to pick Cincinnati here, but the way they've been playing, I won't be shocked if the Jets win. The Jets just had a big win last week too, but these 3 games should be bounce back potentially for Minnesota, Baltimore, and Cincinnati, but I do see Detroit potentially carrying on the momentum, beating them there, and then these 2, they should bounce back, I would think. I'm going to have to pick Philly against Washington. I mean, Commanders lost to the Lions, and they almost lost to the Jags, and the Phillies just looks dominant right now. I'm not giving up solely. I'm not giving up completely yet on Carolina. I mean, the only thing that, like, the way I look at it is they get Kamara back to the Saints next week. That's definitely going to be a problem. But, like, Jameis has issues with his back right now. And, I mean, that's just that offense. Like, yes, they looked... I mean, the Bucs defense is really good, yes, but... It's just, I'm not fully sold on that offense yet. I mean, I know they have some of the names, but, like I said, I'm just not fully sold on that offense. I mean, the Panthers, they're basically, like, 2 or 3 plays away in total from winning 2 games and being 2-0. So, I'm just going to go with the home team here, another low pointer where potentially, like, if I lose it, I don't think it'll affect me too bad as long as my family doesn't put, like, 16s on New Orleans. But this is a game of I don't trust either, really, of these 2 teams, so I'm just going to go with the home team. Chargers against Jacksonville, I mean, this is probably going to be I feel like my 16 of the week. Jacksonville is good, yes, but the Chargers should be able to win that easily. I'm just going to pick Rams here. Arizona played really good last week, but I'm not too confident. And, like, they had to make a monumentous comeback last week, and after last season, it is probably potentially a revenge game for Kyler, but I'm just going to stick with the Rams to see if they can keep the momentum going. This is another one where I think I'm going to go Atlanta. I mean, Seattle... Speaking of offense, like the Saints at least like have Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, like Chris Olave, so they have some offensive names. Like Seattle basically has no one. So, and Atlanta almost came back against the Rams, so I potentially think like Seattle, they might be one of the worst teams in the NFL, especially on their offense. So I think that potentially is where I want to sit there. When it comes to Tampa Bay, Green Bay, it's probably going to be a low number in Tampa Bay just because of the home team, and I want to see how Aaron Rodgers does against another good team before I fully decide. Oh, man. Denver's been playing awful, but... Man, I don't know if I can pick the 49ers. This just feels like a semi-trap game where Denver hasn't been playing well the last 2 weeks, but they honestly should be 2-0. They should have beat the Seahawks, but they fumbled twice on the goal line. Last week, they find a way just to win. So I just like... And it's a primetime game, so potentially, the way I see this, I'm going to pick Denver. Just because of the home team. Another low number situation probably, but I just have a weird feeling that for some reason that game is potentially going to come down to Russell Wilson making either like a game-winning drive, or it's going to come down to Jimmy Garoppolo like losing a game-winning drive. Either way, I think it's going to potentially come down to like a really tight game. And so here I can just do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. So we'll just do 24-2. I'll just do 24-21. Just because, and then when it comes to this game, I'm gonna pick the Giants. In this game, I guess I'll do 21-17. The Dallas hasn't impressed me that much yet either. I want to see a little bit more from them, especially from Cooper Rush. But the Giants, I'm just giving some respect to the Giants because they found ways to win games when usually they don't. Okay, so now here comes the fun part of actually figuring out numbers. I think I have to put my 16 here. That's the matchup I feel the most confident in. I'll put 14 on the Eagles. I feel really good about them. It's gonna be hard to put a lot of high numbers on teams just because I have a lot of dogs too. So this is a potential week where I could fall behind a lot. But I mean, I just like seriously for whatever reason I just feel like I'll do 2 and 4 there. For whatever reason I just feel like between these dogs I feel like how many did I pick? 1, 2. I picked 5 underdogs this week, and I mean, just the way I look at it, I think honestly 3 of the 5 could probably win. I mean, I guess for Cincinnati, I have to put high points. I mean, I know they're on the road, but I guess I'll actually put a 13 on Baltimore. I'll probably raise that to a 15 for Kansas City. Actually, I'll put the 10. I'll switch these 2 like that. I hate to pick against my Colts, but just the way they've been playing, they got to earn some trust back. Man, this is tough. I mean, I lied. I have to put my 15 here because I just don't know where else to put it. This is going to be one of those weeks where potentially, like, this could potentially, I feel like, be a week where I could storm ahead of everyone depending on who they pick, or I could end up falling really, really far behind. Las Vegas against Tennessee, I guess I'm like a 9 there. It just Tampa Bay against Green Bay. I'll put like a 7. This is tough. So I got a 1-3. So I'll put my Buffalo. I don't mind losing a big number with Buffalo because they've looked so dominant. I want them to like. I don't think the Dolphins will win, but I think they can keep it close. So I want the Dolphins to. Because I've yet to be shaken off that the Bills can beat anyone, and that the Bills can lose because I mean they just look unstoppable. I'm sure they will at some point, but for now, I'm gonna switch that to a 5, and I'll put 4. I'll do that. I like that. I'll put an 8 just because I don't mind that too much. The biggest question is this 12. I don't know where to put it, and I'm pretty nervous, honestly. So I got a 1, 3, 6, and 12. I feel good with. I'll put a 6 there. Put a 5 there. So I can put my 3 there. I'll put my 1 on Atlanta. I'm not putting a 12 on New York. I'll probably put a 7. And then, yeah, the way this is probably going to look, I'm probably going to have to, like... Dang, 8. I guess I can do. Oh, man, Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I think we'll do most points this week. We'll do least points. We'll just do Cowboys. Because I really don't. Yeah, we'll do Cowboys. Where they at? There they are. And then for most points, we'll do Buffalo. Because that's probably going to be a shoot. I'll probably pick Buffalo every week, basically. So this is what I'm thinking for the picks. I mean, I definitely picked a lot more underdogs than I have in the past. I mean, I'm thinking about that 10, and I don't feel too good about it. But I don't know. You know what? We'll do. Yeah, I'm just gonna do like. I know it doesn't mean that much, but I'll do that. I feel a little bit better about that. I feel weird. I won't lie. This is one of those weird weeks where based on like what's happened this week, I think like this is how I feel the week should go. But based on the last few weeks, there's like 3 or 4 games I've been missing consistently that I'm just like confused on. So I'm hoping that instead of missing the 3 or 4 games like I've done every week, I've actually chosen the right underdogs this week and potentially. It's very rare. I think like last year we had like only 2 or 3 perfect weeks. The year before we had like 3 or 4. But I'm hoping potentially to go for an early perfect week candidate because I do like my picks. I don't like the numbers I put on them. I'll admit the numbers I'm really, really nervous about, but I have to put them somewhere. So this is where I ended up with. And yeah, hopefully this week, like I said, I made up a little ground last week. I'm still in 7th overall, but I'm like, it's not. Last week I was like 7th overall, down like 20-something points. Now I'm 20-something points to like the person in front of me. And now I'm 7th overall, and I'm right back in the hunt a little bit again. So hopefully this is potentially a big week for me. So I'm hoping that these picks are the good ones, and yeah, hopefully we can get a dub this week.